going to be involved in a mutable T-square all this month. So there is a lot of reality. There's a lot of expansion. There's a lot of reassessing. We're going to have Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, Mars, and Mercury all dropping into retrograde. So there's a sense of realization, reflection, reassessing. It's a slow down period where you get to relax a little bit in this energy if you're mindful of that. Saturn is going to be in retrograde, and then Mars is going to fall into retrograde. Both are going to be in this very expansive part of your chart where you really take a look and be honest with yourself on a very, very intimate level. This is stuff that you do behind the scenes. This is the work that you do to really clean out that 12th house work. It's a part where we realign ourselves with what we desire on a karmic cycle. So as we've learned all these deep karmic lessons and we've reflected upon them, what have we learned? We're going to be taking a look at all of that, because that is what's going to start to stir the wisdom that we've attained from going through those life lessons. Is going to start to motivate us to make changes, but make changes that are they're considerably slower and more precise and thought out. We're going to consider the ramifications of all of our actions on that deep level. I think for many of you, the Saturn which is going to be in retrograde, is going to trine the sun in Aries. This is about ending some suffering, some cumulative energy, some karmic lessons are ending so that we can start anew. Some of us are very enthusiastic and hopeful about getting some of our needs and our wants met, but I think in our home and family. So for some of you, this could just be about, having your home reflect who you really are. You're really starting to see some results there. Or for some of you, this could be about looking for a new place and just finding that one perfect place that really speaks to you and identifies you. Some of you may be having those moments. For some of you, for everybody, Saturn is going to be trining Uranus all month long. So believe me when I say that you are developing your identity. You are realigning yourself. You are freeing your mind from mindsets that are taking away your power on an unconscious level and conscious. So for some of you, you're being you're becoming conscious of unconscious limitations. The realization in that is, this was holding me back. It's not holding me back anymore. Those cycles are starting to end. I believe that for many of you, this has to do with changing mindsets. This has to do with ways that you were avoiding coping with things. I think you're in that coping environment where you're reassessing and realigning. You're really taking a look. You really don't want to repeat any of these mistakes again. So this reflective point for you has to do with personal expansion and growth on a very, very significant level. The new moon to me in this energy has a lot to do with your home and family. So new beginnings are going to be happening. You're going to have Mars conjunct with Saturn in this energy. And both these energies are going to be trining the new moon. So I believe that there's something very, very exciting taking place in the family. You could be buying a house, you could be looking at real estate, you could be thinking about moving, you could be thinking about buying a vacation home, you could be thinking about starting a family for some of you. This could be that point in life where you really, really start to identify yourself with the family unit. It also has to do with breaking free from some of the ways that the programming that you were raised with. You start to break away from some of that, and you start to establish your own identity. So for some of you, this is breakthrough energy. For some of you, what this has to do with is the realization that you have been caught in an unconscious pattern. If you're in the negative form of vibration, you were caught in a cycle that really, honestly, you've been suffering from a long time. So the realization is, I really am suffering. I didn't realize. Or, wow, I really am like that. I didn't see it like that. So for some of you, this is about the realization in your mind that there is something that you need to solve, something that you need to take care of, something that you need to regenerate within your mind. This has to do with the revelation of where a weakness may lie for some of you, and that it's an habitual pattern that has been keeping you from, that has been keeping you from, really embracing positive rituals and routines that really embrace personal power. So for some of you, this can be one of those times where this month is just you're going to be quiet and reflective, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes. There's a lot brewing beneath that people don't really understand. I believe that it's very reactive energy for you, because I don't think you know how to externalize what you're deeply going through on an internal level. So there is that possibility, but I do believe that the new beginning in this energy is just the realization either way that you're really starting to figure things out. You're putting all the pieces together and you've completed the puzzle, and now you're looking at it and now you're assessing the puzzle. The full moon, the cumulative energy, the ending to all of this is it starts to get you hopeful. You really start to align with hopeful energy. Again, this is internal. This is an internal hope that you can conquer this, that you can move past it. There's a need, there's a want, there's a desire to change your outcome. You are really aligned with what you deeply want on a personal level. For some of you, the love that you are experiencing in your immediate environment is going to heal some of the love that you didn't receive when you were a child. So for some of you, there is a sense that you are healing these wounds by creating a new environment, a new programming for your mind and the feeling that you have. This is moving you away from cycles of suffering and moving you toward, I can live from right now. I don't have to remember that everything terrible that happened to me in my past. For some of you, this is about completely going after the new family, the new, what you want. So for some of you, maybe the ending may be that you may be aligning yourself with a friend, somebody that you feel closer to than a family that you've had in your past. So for some of you, this is ending a relationship that was never going to go anywhere. And this is generating a relationship that was always around as a friend, some sort of deeply personal level. They always seem to understand you more than your current partner. So for some of you, it's just an ending. It's a walking away from a sense of suffering, a sense of not being understood, a sense of, you've been doing this cycle for so long that you're sick and tired of it, and you're ending this cycle because there's a need to regenerate your life, to move forward. There's a need to bring an ending so that you can have a beginning, many of you in this energy. It is the possibility of a beautiful month. I do want you to understand that there is another energy that's going to be happening that has to do with Capricorn energy, and that's Pluto's going to be in Capricorn, and it's going to be dropping into a retrograde cycle. So for you, again, I believe that this is about empowering yourself, or being very realistic about where you take away your own power. I believe that this is how you externally come off. I believe that for you, I think you want to appear to be into control, but do many people perceive you as in control? I think some of you are going to be very surprised by those questions that come up. I think that for some of you, you're going to be sitting there going, wait a minute, externally, I exhibit this, but I don't think that you're going to, I think the reality check is that you're going to be shocked in what people see and how people perceive you. And I think there lies that reality check. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again